once again, I'm Rains, and our topic for today will be all about budgeting. So this topic is actually the second part of a two-part series of lecture about budgeting. So yung first part, right, nabigay ko na sa inyo, and that is all about operational budget. So in this video, ang focus na lang natin will be the financial budget, right? And here in financial budget, tatlo lang actually ang ating nakikita. Ano yung tatlong yun ulit? Meron tayong tinatawag na cash budget. Second will be the capital expenditure budget. Then last, meron tayong tinatawag na budgeted statement of financial position. Anag? So, isa-isayin natin. Kapag sinabi natin cash budget, ang makikita mo actually dito is first, the cash balance at the beginning. Then, makikita mo rin dyan yung expected receipts. Kapag sinabi nating receipts, same lang yan sa tinatawag natin na cash inflows. Makikita mo rin dyan, of course, yung disbursement because disbursements are our cash outflows. Then, lastly, makukompute mo dyan yung cash balance at the end. Sir, bakit po? Because cash balance at the end is actually equal to the cash balance at the beginning plus yung receipts natin or lahat ng cash na ating na-receive, then minus all the disbursements. Right? Next, punta tayo sa capital expenditure budget. Capital expenditure budget, dito mo makikita lahat ng plan mo, alright, with regards to the acquisition of property, plant, and equipment, meaning long-term decisions tong mga to. Hindi natin ito ituturo sa video na to, meaning capital expenditure budget will be discussed on the other video entitled capital budgeting. Right? So, sa capital budgeting natin yan, pag-uusapan. Then, budgeted statement of financial position, asahan mo na madali lang naman yan. Ang laman lang naman ito is assets, liabilities, and equity. At lagi mo lang tatandaan that assets are always equal to liabilities plus equity. So, in this video, ang focus lang talaga natin will be the preparation of the cash budget. So, let's start with illustrative problem number 3. Because yung 1 and 2, nandun yun sa first part ng budgeting natin. Yun yung operational budget. Alright? So, here, the requirement is just to prepare the cash receipts budget for July and August. So, July and August lang naman. Right? Anong sabi dito? Lawrence found that about 20% of its sales during the month were for cash. So, hatiin natin itong mga sales na to sa cash sales at saka sa credit sales. Ay ba tayo dun? So, 240,000, 20%. Tama ba? Sisira ang video ko kapag nilalagay ko yung calcio. So, wag ko na ipapakita. So, 240,000 times 20%, 48,000 ang cash sales for the month of April. And 240 minus 48, 192,000 ang lumalabas na credit sales. For the month of May, 288,000 times 20%, ang lumalabas is 57,600. Then minus 288,000, of course, meron tayong credit sales na 230,400. Next, for the month of June, that's 276,000 times 20%, or this is equal to 55,200 minus 276,000. Of course, ang lalabas dito is equal to 220,800. For the month of July, this is 295,000 times 20%, or this is equal to 59,000. Then 295 minus 59,000 credit sales is equal to 236,000. Then 300,000 times 20%, 60,000 ang ating cash sales. And then 300,000 minus 60,000, meron tayong 240,000 na credit sales. Paano ba? Okay na? So, anong tanong dito? Tanong dito is yung cash receipts or kung magkano natanggap natin sa July and August. So, paano daw natin nare-receive yung credit sales. Sabi dito, Lawrence has the following accounts receivable payment experience. 40% paid in the month of sale. Ibig sabihin, kung July yung nangyari, 40% ng credit sales sa July mo rin natanggap. 50% in the month after the sale and 8% in the second month after the sale. Sir, kapag tinutal mo yan, 98% lang po ang lumalabas dyan. Yes, tama ka. Ang ibig sabihin yan, the other 2% or yung nawawalang 2%, yan yung kinoconsider natin na allowance for uncollectible or doubtful accounts. So, July and August lang ang pinapakompute sa atin dito. Once again, July and August lang ang ating pinapakompute. So, start tayo ng April. Itong 192,000 na credit sales, 40% sa April, 50% sa May, and then 8% sa June. So, itong April, wala nang aabot dyan ng July and August. So, fully received na yan at the end of June. Punta tayo sa May. 40% sa May, sa month of sale, 50% sa June, then 8% aabot pa ng July. So, 230,400 times 8%, this is equal to 18,432. Kaso itong May na to, hindi na siya aabot ng August. Punta tayo ng June. 224,800, 40% sa June yan, then 50% sa July. So, times 0.5, right? This is equal to 110,400. Then, 8% aabot siya ng August. So, 220,800 times 8%, this is equal to 17,664. Next, itong July na to, na 236, of course, 40% sa July marireceive. So, 236 times 40% or 94,400 ang marireceive natin sa July. Then, 50% sa August. So, 236,000 times 50%, this is equal to 118,000. Then, of course, yung 8% sa September na yun. Next, pagdating sa August, 240,000, wala na tayong marireceive yan sa July. Sir, bakit po? Because hindi pa yan nag-e-exist ng July. Meaning, yung 240,000 na ngayon na yan, multiply mo ng 40% kasi 40% ang marireceive mo sa August. So, 240 times 40%, that's equal to 96,000. At kapag in-add mo ngayon yan yung tinatawag natin na collection of credit sales. Once again, these will be the collection of credit sales. So, for the month of July, that's 18,432 plus 110,400 plus 94,400, or this is equal to 223,232. For the month of August, 17,664 plus 118,000, then plus 96,000, or this is equal to 231,664. Right? So, common mistake to ng mga bata. Bakit? Because, akala nila, yung 223, 232 na yun at 231,664, yan na yung cash receipts natin ng July and August. We're in. Mali yun. Sir, bakit po? Because meron pa tayong cash sales. So, lalagay ko dito, collection of cash sales. So, for the month of July, cash sales natin is 59,000. Then, for the month of August, that's equal to 60,000. So, the total receipts now for the month of July will be equal to 232 plus 59,000, or this is equal to 282,232. Then, for the month of August, that's equal to 231,664 plus 60,000, or this is equal to 291,664. So, final answer right here will be equal to 282,232 for the month of July and then 291,664 for the month of August. So, that is illustrative problem number 3. We're good. And last problem will be illustrative problem number 4. So here, the following information was available from Pera Corporation's books for the year 20 OB. So meron tayong purchases and sales. Ano yung mga requirements muna? Prepare the following schedule. Expected cash collections during November. Expected cash disbursements sa November pa din. Then expected cash balance sa November. Ay ba tayo doon? So here, meron tayong cash balance at the beginning. Right? Ilalagay natin dito receipts or yung tinatawag natin na collections. Then meron tayo ditong disbursements. Right? And then apparently, mako-compute natin from there yung tinatawag natin na cash balance at the end of the year. Okay na? Nasabi dito, collections from customers are normally 80% in the month of sale, 10% in the month following the sale, and then 8% in the second month following the sale. So may 2% ulit na allowance for doubtful accounts because sabi dito the balance is expected to be uncollectible. So doon muna tayo. So November lang ang ating kino-compute. Okay ba tayo doon? So, 3 buwan, aabot yung collection. So, July na yan, 80% sa July, 10% sa August, then 8% sa September. So, hindi na yan aabot pa ng November. Punta tayo sa August. 10% ng 9,000 na yan sa August mo mismo 80% sa August mo muna marireceive. 10% marireceive mo ng September, and then 8% sa October. So, hindi na rin yan aabot pa ng November. Next. September. Itong 7,000, 80% sa September. 10% sa October. And then 8% sa November. So, 7,000 times 8%. This will give us 560 pesos. Right? Next October. 10,000, 80. So, 10,000 na yan. 80% sa October. 10% sa November. So, times 10%. 1,000 marireceive natin ng November. And then, kailangan nating malaman magkano ba yung sales natin sa November. So, let's continue reading the problem. Anong sabi dito? Purchases for November are budgeted at 4,000 while sales for November are forecasted at 6,000. So, meron tayong 6,000 na sales. 4,000 na purchases sa November. And then, sales is equal to 6,000. And once again, 80% na marireceive mo sa month of sale. So, 6,000 times 80%, this is equal to 4,800. So, total receipts now or collections is equal to magkano yan? 560 plus 1,000 plus 4,800 or this is equal to 6,360. Right? So, final answer here, so letter A is 6,360. So, lalagay ko dito, 6,360. Next, punta tayo sa disbursement. Ano naman sabi dito? Pera takes full advantage of the 2% discount allowed on purchases paid for by the 10th of the following month. Purchases for November are budgeted at 4,000 while sales, tapos na yan. Right? So, dito, if nagbabayad lang tayo, right, sa kasunod na buwan, asahan mo ngayon na itong November purchases mo, sa December mo pa yan mababayaran. So, sir, anong mababayaran natin ng November? Ang mababayaran mo lang ng November is yung 7,000 na purchases natin ng October. Kaso, tinitake natin, alright, yung 2% na discount. So, 7,000 times 0.98, 6,680 ang ating payment or disbursement for accounts payable. Ano ba yan? Next, ano pang sabi dito? Operating expenses are expected to be 6,000 for the month of November, inclusive. May kasama daw yan. Inclusive of 1,000 depreciation expense. Asahan mo, alright, na ang depreciation expense, non-cash po iyan. Once again, hindi po natin yan binabayaran. Alright, ibig sabihin, the disbursement for operating expenses now are only equal to 6,000 minus 1,000, or this is equal to 5,000. So the total disbursements now is equal to 6,860 plus 5,000, or this is equal to 11,860. So final answer, letter B, is 11,860. Ano ba? And lastly, magkano na yung cash balance at the end? So, cash balance at the beginning is 15,000. So, 15,000 plus 6,360 minus 11,860. The cash balance at the end now, once again, 15,000 plus 6,360 minus 11,860. Our cash balance at the end will now be equal to 9,500. So, requirement letter Charlie, 9,500 will be our final answer. Right? So, that's the end of this video. Hopefully, once again, natuto ka sa video na to. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Thank you guys. God bless and keep safe. Bye-bye.